2006, Andrew Crenshaw approached me and said, "Pete, we've still got more work to do." Because just a year or so earlier, we had passed the Family Opportunity Act. And the Family Opportunity Act really began the first real look at what Down syndrome people and families and disability communities dealt with as they tried to help families to stay together and to succeed where children had significant medical issues. And Andrew understood very clearly that also an opportunity to have savings accounts for people's future where families could participate would make a difference. So Andrew came to me and I said, let's do our very best, and it just took a lot of time. The road turned when we did not have the majority. The road turned back when we got the majority, and he stayed after it, and outside groups made a difference. All I did is hung on with him. He did the work, and we all worked together to make sure this would happen. Andrew Crenshaw is truly a hero for this effort.
Tell us more about Alex and how this bill will help people like him.
You know, Alex Sessions is a really cool guy from the very beginning. From the night he was born, my dad said he'll be the greatest thing ever to happen to this family. And I did not know enough about Down syndrome, its characteristics, how it worked, and what to expect. So I dug in and tried to learn what it would mean and how we would work around it. And from the earliest time, Alex was really simply a God's gift cool guy. He had an older brother who would take him to school, show him off, because there were just things about Alex that were way different and way cool. The facts of the case are real simple. We discovered that God made Alex what he is and made him perfect. We're the ones that struggle with it, and we do struggle. We struggle with his health. We struggle with sometimes his speech. We struggle with sometimes the way his little characteristics are about wanting to do what Alex wants to do as opposed to sometimes what other people want to do. But Alex always understood when you'd ask him, "Alex, what's the word?" He'd say, "The word is can." And we as parents and Bill as his big brother worked to develop and work with Alex in a way that Alex became really exceptional at what he did. Alex wanted to be an Eagle Scout more than about anything because his grandfather's an Eagle, I'm an Eagle, and his big brother's an Eagle Scout. And he learned that that meant going on camp outs sometimes and sleeping in a tent where it was cold, and opportunities where he got to be the best swimmer in the troop, and chances where he found his way to carry the flag during flag ceremonies and be with the other guys. Alex simply wanted to be just like all the other guys. The closer he got to getting out of school at age 18, where the other guys went to college, Alex didn't. And that was a real turn to Alex. That was when he began to understand, I guess, more about himself. And as parents, we began understanding and seeing, wow, what opportunities are there for him out there? And every parent goes through this. You could have a Down syndrome child, you could have an autistic child, you could have a child with cerebral palsy, you could have a child that's far, far different and maybe characterized a more difficult circumstance than Alex. So we dealt with what we had, and that kid, man, he can do it all. He has some opportunities to go learn and get better, but he wants to have a dream where he lives on his own or independently. He wants to be able to be just like every other guy. He likes basketball, loves to talk about football. Still can go work out all day and hit that long 60-foot jumper. But it's interesting, he has figured out in his mind that whoever wins the flip at the beginning of the football game, they're going to win the game. And I've told him, yeah, sometimes it works that way. He loves the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones once told him, "Alex, we need you to be a Dallas Cowboy fan," and he's remembered that his whole life. And he holds a lot of things that are really true that you and I might not always hold as dear. But I'll tell you what, he doesn't believe in Santa Claus anymore, But it's not all bad to have somebody around who sees things through the lens or the eye of a young man who really gives as much love as he needs back. And Alex Sessions is that guy. Cool guy, Eagle Scout, distinguished young man, leads the prayer at every meal, finds his own way, and is just as important to our family as other children are to their families. That's why this ABLE Act is so important for us to be able to have the same opportunities. My father, Alex's grandfather, if he chose to give a gift to all the grandkids, he couldn't give that to Alex. He couldn't have a savings account for Alex. He'll be able to with this ABLE Act. My father might want to choose to do some other things about college education or further training for Alex. Couldn't help before, can now. So Alex is really breaking through the glass ceiling with the ABLE Act, just like so many other disabled people will be able to do. The most important thing is that as I get closer to 60, 70, 80, I want to be able to know that Alex will be okay, that he can take care of himself and not left up to the government. Because the government just doesn't love Alex the same way I do, and his family does. So this is a chance for us through the law to be able to make things a little bit better, not just for Alex, but every family, to help take care of their family member who happens to be perfect to God, but we're the ones that struggle with it. Now the federal law with the ABLE Act will give us that chance to be fair back.